Welcome back, land and water enthusiasts. Today we're going to show how to make a simple rain garden along the edge of our greenhouse using the water that runs off of the greenhouse. So let's get started. Rain gardens are a simple way to harvest rainwater in the soil instead of running this precious resource off the land. Rain gardens can be created in various situations. If you are new to rain gardens, the best place to create a rain garden is where water is running off of a non-permeable surface. We created this rain garden along the sides of our greenhouse. The rain that hits the top and sides of the greenhouse runs off the greenhouse into the surrounding soil on both sides of the greenhouse, making this a great place to make a simple, inexpensive rain garden. Our greenhouse had a shade cloth over the top, which was absorbing most of the rainwater that hit the greenhouse. By removing the shade cloth, all of the water now sheds off the greenhouse into the soil on the sides of the greenhouse. Since we don't have a lot of vegetation growing along the sides, we're not too concerned about putting down cardboard as a weed barrier. If this area had lots of aggressive vegetation that we were worried would interfere with the vegetation we plan to grow, then we would put down some cardboard first. We have a video on sheet mulching that shows how to put the cardboard down on top of the weeds so they will die. This area has some grass, but a nice thick layer of 4 to 6 inches of wood chips will kill the grass. As the weeds and grass die under the cardboard or wood chips, they feed the microorganisms in the soil, so it is very beneficial to leave any kind of vegetation under the cardboard or wood chips. If you need more details, watch the sheet mulching video. Now it's time to put down the wood chips. We use wood chips, which are a byproduct of tree cutting and trimming services. The branches and leaves are all put into a wood chipper and out comes wood chips. They are full of microorganisms that live on the outside of living things. By putting them on your soil, you are increasing the microbiology in your soil, which is essential to any kind of growing, living vegetation. We put down about a 6-inch layer of wood chips. In drier climates, the wood chip layer would need to be thicker. It could be up to 12 inches. We have had an unusually wet summer where we live, and having a rain garden with at least 6 inches of mulch of wood chips helps hold vast amounts of water without drowning the plants. We will have other videos on different ways of creating rain gardens in later videos. For now, this is one way. We have a few plants growing along the greenhouse that we planted from seed a couple months ago that are doing well. We will put the wood chips around the plants. These types of plants can have wood chips right up against their stems, whereas if they were bushes or trees, we would make sure to keep the wood chips off the trunk and branches since they have a woody stem. We would do so by making a little bowl around the base of the trunks. Next, we will decide what to plant in the rain garden. If this area is left without anything growing in it, Mother Nature will eventually cover it with vegetation, so it's best to decide what you want instead. We chose to do a variety of things. We had a couple of plants already established, which we left in place. We also had some potato pieces that we sprinkled on the wood chips and then covered them with a layer of wood chips. The potatoes will grow up through the wood chips. Then we planted 2 perennial plants, one on each side of the greenhouse near the corners. We also love wildflower seed mixes. On the north side of the greenhouse, we scattered a shade-tolerant perennial/annual wildflower seed mix right on top of the wood chips. On the south side, we scattered a few different herbs and lettuce seeds on top of the wood chips. If you are planting seeds that are small, scatter them right on top of the wood chips. If the seeds are medium to large, then push them down into the wood chips a little. Most of the time, watering the newly formed rain garden really well after scattering the seed causes the water to do the sowing for you. Make sure to use either a watering can or an attachment to a hose that allows you to do the shower setting so that it's not too forceful on the seeds. It's a very simple and effective way to plant seeds. Just make sure you can't see the seed on top of the wood chips, and you're good to go. If you can still see the seed, water some more until you can't see the seed. Continue monitoring the rain garden and water if there is a dry spell. Usually after the first year, the plants will be established enough and the soil microorganisms will have begun to multiply enough that no further watering is necessary. The plants can live off the rainwater. Perennials are the best types of plants and seeds to plant. They build the soil fertility. We will have to replant the lettuce seeds next year or let some of them go to seed so that they can reseed themselves. Planting the rain garden densely also helps protect the soil, and as a bonus, it helps prevent weeds from popping up. Mother Nature abhors bare soil, and weeds are one way that Mother Nature uses to cover soil. If you don't want weeds to grow, provide the function that the weed is providing, and they won't flourish. We hope this inspired you to take a look around your property and see where you can make simple rain gardens and use the water that's already coming from rain. Until next time, happy harvesting.